Now to the tell-all interview, raising lots of eyebrows. John Edwards' mistress, Rielle Hunter, broke her silence in an interview with GQ magazine. An interview and photo shoot that has a lot of people talking, and Hunter herself on the defensive. Juju's been tracking the shockwaves for us, and there have been.
She revealed a lot of details, Robin. She said that she's receiving child support payments for her 2-year-old daughter and that the Edwardses even bought a house for her to live in, but that she couldn't afford to rent it from them. So she also says John Edwards never told her to keep quiet, but she held her silence out of devotion. She was also waiting until he publicly admitted to being the baby's father before setting the record straight. News of Rielle Hunter telling her side of the story in the John Edwards sex scandal is jamming the airwaves.
If you're going to involve Kermit, put your pants on. Borderline perverse.
John Edwards' mistress put herself in the spotlight over her affair with the former presidential candidate, calling Barbara Walters to discuss her provocative photo spread in the latest issue of GQ.
I want to read this. She was in tears when she called. She said that when she saw the pictures, precisely the pictures that you called, she said she found them repulsive. And she thought, as I said, that one of those photographs was okay and would be sexy, and that there were others that were just beautiful headshots.
But that's not what Lisa DiPaolo, who interviewed Hunter for GQ, says.
She was repulsed by seeing the images, that she thought that they were going to be headshots. What do you make of those statements?
Okay, did she say she thought they would be headshots?
Mm-hmm. The photographer even asks her for feedback.
Greg, you want to see it?
Rielle is a smart woman. She knows what she wore and what she was doing in the photo shoots.
DiPaolo spoke to Hunter at length, no topic off limits, even revealing Hunter and Edwards slept together the first night they met.
What does the baby call him?
Dada.
I was struck by the co-parenting comments that she made, this idea that John Edwards is very involved in raising Quinn.
Mm-hmm. She says he's a great father.
For her part, Elizabeth Edwards says she wants her children to get to know the 2-year-old daughter her husband had with his mistress.
She's acting with generosity of heart and doing, in fact, what is best for the kids, which is letting them get to know their sibling. In the long run, you cannot deny a family member.
In the interview, Hunter also addresses the charade that former Edwards aide Andrew Young was the father of the baby.
What about the Andrew Young part of it? She cleared up a misconception in her mind, which is that he offered to claim paternity.
She tells a very interesting story of being on the phone with Johnny, as she calls him, and Andrew being right there, and Johnny being upset, and Andrew saying, "Tell him I'll say I'm the father," and her saying, "That's a crazy idea."
A statement that Young firmly denies to ABC News.
Yeah, I don't want to be the baby daddy. No, that's ridiculous. I mean, it's as ridiculous as not knowing that there's money coming in.
Hunter claims she had no idea where a total of $5,000 to $6,000 deposited in her bank account every month for 6 months was coming from, but she says it wasn't hush money.
It's patently ridiculous for Rielle to say that she didn't know that there was money coming in or this or that. I mean, we were living in a $20,000 a month house right down the road from Oprah Winfrey.
As for the love affair between John and Rielle,
when I said to her, "Do you think you will live happily ever after with him?" and her answer was, "I don't know." And I don't think she does.
but then she also asked, but she has that to love until death do us part kind of attitude, that love will never go away. She says it's unconditional and they will always be co-parenting together. And we should point out that John Edwards, who is now officially separated, has not publicly responded to the interview, but Rielle says emphatically that he was supportive of her speaking out.
Well, she's a videographer, so it's hard to believe that she wasn't aware of how the pictures were being taken, and she was clearly shown.
Absolutely.
The
and
pictures.
if you look at this video that GQ released, the photographer actually turns
and
the shot
her,
around
right.
and says, you know, do you want to take a look at this?
And you talked to Andrew Young yesterday?
I talked to Andrew Young, who sort of demurred about a lot of the comments, but when I asked about his offer to claim paternity, he said she is out and out lying. So that was a pretty bold statement on his part. And, you know, but then he took issue with a lot of the things that she said throughout.
All right. Well, they've all had their say, and maybe now they just won't say anything. They've all weighed in on it, but well, we haven't heard. Down peanut gallery. All right, George. But thank you, Juju, for this. And we want to know if you'd like to weigh in. Everybody else seems to be weighing in on it. Please go to our shout-out board at abcnews.com.